at Canonsburg UP Church, 112 West Pike Street, Canonsburg, PA. It is Wednesday, October the 2nd.
All day.
2024.
Seems like we always do this on Wednesday.
Pardon?
Yeah. Seems like we always do this on Wednesday.
I know. I was thinking maybe
It's a
we
trend.
could change the time maybe to 11 instead of 1.
Maybe next Wednesday.
Oh, do you have that thing again?
2 weeks? No. How about in 2 weeks, though?
Oh, you won't be here.
In 2 weeks, I'm going to be gone.
Well, then Alvin will be here.
You be here in 2 weeks?
Probably not.
October. Hold on a second. October the.
This is
21st.
9th,
right? Today.
16th, 23rd.
23rd?
2.
Yes, sorry, 23rd.
Yeah, I'll be here the 23rd, but not the 16th.
So next Sunday, or next. Oh, wait, hold on a second.
The 9th is next.
Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. The one you won't be here.
Yeah, I won't be here.
The 9th.
16th.
The 16th.
Yeah.
And you won't be here the 16th.
No.
So I'll be by myself again.
By yourself. All right. Okay. So if you would like to be with Kenton here, or maybe somewhere else, I don't know. Let us know.
I don't know how to do that though.
We'll figure it out. I mean, I guess you'd have to be here. Okay.
Because
so
you want to
be here. You want to be here.
You don't want me to know how to get online and be able to do that myself.
You don't know how. That's a different.
Well, I know. Well,
you're not an administrator.
But what am I? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting
the
here.
Piano player.
You're the piano player.
Just the piano player.
Boy, did you put me in my
Do you want to be
spot.
on with Kenton, just the piano player,
This
in
is
2
Al
weeks?
Barker and our pastor Don Coleman.
It would be It would be an exciting afternoon.
I think it'd be great.
It would.
We would need someone with a clear head. Because there
Those
needs to be
are hard to find.
At least one. It's better if there's two.
A clear head.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That's funny.
So
Find somebody with a clear head these days.
Oh yeah. Hey, question. Not the question, but a question.
A question.
Following up with you, your brother's service was this past weekend. How you doing?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
I'm fine. It was a real pleasure to be able to go and do that for him. It was received. All went very well. It was a very honorable and nice funeral for him.
How's Gail doing? How's Gail doing?
Well, overwhelmed. I said to her after, "What are you going to do this week?" And she said, somebody ought to start a company that cleans up after somebody's death.
Yeah.
Because, she was busy getting death certificates at $25 a pop. Mm-hmm. And, the more you have, the more you need. Mm-hmm. So she was just overwhelmed about thinking about starting to do that stuff.
Yeah.
I think her daughter stayed with her a couple more days.
Good.
But she was doing well. She was doing well. They led a very full and active life. They traveled the world.
Nice.
They traveled around the world actually. Mm-hmm. So they had a very full life together. So it was just, and so she eulogized him herself, and their interim pastor was a very nice lady.
Good. Granville, Ohio.
Yeah, very nice lady. She could sing. Woo! She could sing. Yeah. So.
You see, she's open to coming here.
And doing what?
I don't know.
Singing.
I can't sing.
Singing.
You can sing. What'd you say, Alvin?
Huh? He said sing.
Singing. She could sing.
Yeah, but you could sing.
Yeah.
You don't sing anymore, and I don't like it.
No, I'm sorry.
That's why I quit singing.
No, you don't quit. You didn't quit singing.
Well, I just sing harmony now.
That makes the song sound so much better when you throw that harmony in there.
Thank you, Alvin.
I'm just trying to play the right notes. That's all.
Well, and you're doing that. How can you?
Thank you.
The same 4 chords.
Yeah, there's a fifth chord every once in a while.
Sometimes you're just right in my ear, which is fine. I don't
Is
mind.
it helpful?
Sometimes.
Yeah. How's your week been?
It's been great.
What have you been doing, Alvin?
Well, in my usual trip up to Penn State, we won our 4th game. It was a pretty big game.
Packed, wasn't it?
Pretty big game. It was 109,900 people.
My
there.
goodness.
The coach asked for everybody to wear white. And,
I could tell.
And everybody wore white.
I could tell.
It was pretty good.
Well, that was in the evening too, wasn't
and
it?
it was a night game. Yep. We were.
Really pops that white at night
Yeah.
under the lights and stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's just impressive just to
It's
see.
a whiteout.
Just to see, because there was hardly any Illinois fans there, so that
Yeah.
wore orange, and
There's
they
hardly
were-
any Illinois fans.
I don't know. We went out to Illinois last
you?
year, and
Half full?
there was a lot of Illinois fans there. I'm just saying.
And Penn State won, right?
And Penn State was victorious.
Good.
Yes.
Nice.
Good. So that was late. So guys didn't drive home.
No, we didn't get home till probably 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, you did come home.
Yeah, the game was over about 11, and then we had to wait in the parking lots for about 2 hours till the traffic died down, and then we left.
Oh, then you got.
And we went to our friend's house.
Oh, okay.
Our friends live 5 minutes away from the stadium, and we stay with them when we're up there. It's
Nice.
very convenient.
Yes, you didn't come home.
So you didn't come home.
And we came home the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you first said it, it sounded like you came home that night. But
Well, it's like our home. We have our own bedroom there. It's
Aw.
Your
not-
own bedroom.
Oh yeah.
I need friends with a home.
Well, their kids have moved out,
Yeah,
so
it's
you
now
know,
Alan
they've
Linda's
got.
room. Do you have pictures on the wall for like?
No,
do you
we-
bring your own?
No, we haven't done it, but we stay in the same bedroom every
Do
time.
you
we're
bring?
there.
Do you have your own sheets? Do you have like a closet with a few of your clothes in it?
No,
Oh, you are so
but we've
bad.
had so many games in a row that we
Yeah.
don't even change the sheets on the bed because we're going to be the next ones to stay there.
that's right. That's exactly right.
I think next time you need to bring a few photos just to make it feel all that. Just put them on the dresser.
You know what?
You know.
Funny
Now
that
we
you-
do have friends that have a place down in Florida, down in St. Petersburg, and I actually have a bin down there in their house with,
That's okay.
clothes in it, so that when I go down to visit, Linda and I go down to visit, we don't have to pack as much stuff.
That's right. That's the way to live.
Is it still there? The house.
Yeah, so they moved out of their house and they're in a condo on about the 6th floor, so they're safe from storms now.
All right.
Good.
Because my son is
it was
still
close.
not in St. Petersburg.
Oh, yeah, it was close. I know that Treasure Island, they live very close to Treasure Island, had a lot of damage, and some of the places we used to go to got wiped out along the coast there.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for an update. I keep checking. That's what I'm doing right now.
I know.
I forgot about that.
Checking my email to find out the most recent. Oh, look at that! Test results available. That's quick.
Because he's right on the
That's,
entrance to Tampa
You had
Bay
blood
there,
work
and
done?
that was a bad
Would you have
place.
blood work done for?
Yeah, they were. Hold on, we'll get to that. My goodness, you're like.
Are you sick? What's the matter with
guys,
you?
yeah.
I'll have to pray for you.
I wasn't gonna go. I was gonna go there earlier, but now that we're.
Why are you sick?
Hold on.
Well, you're just looking at your
Fine.
watch.
I did go to the doctor's today
Why?
because it was that time.
You mean every 6-month time?
No, every year time. It was an
Oh.
annual physical. I was actually in and out pretty quickly. But I planned it such that I had not consumed anything except for black coffee.
Oh, you had
and
fast.
whatever mouthwash
You had
didn't get
fast.
spit out.
Yeah.
I didn't have to, but I did.
Well, fasting is always
so that I
better.
could go straight in from the doctor, straight across the street to the blood work, get my blood work done.
Well, that's a good way.
I don't know what it is.
Well, didn't you have blood work scheduled before?
No.
That's what you need to do.
No, because I literally I said, yeah, I
No,
can
no,
do some
I-
blood
I-
work, and then I walk across the street.
But then she gets to review it before she sees.
That's
before
right.
The
He
doctor
doesn't.
or he,
If
before
she-
he sees you, he
If
gets
she-
to see
he,
the results
she
of your.
sees you, sees the blood work, okay, then sees you.
Yeah, they review it. He'll review it, and in my little portal,
Yeah.
he'll respond. He did that last year, same thing.
Well, but I'm just saying.
I know. Well, if there's anything wrong, we'll go back.
Well, that's what I mean. You
Yeah.
would have known if there was something wrong
And
already.
he wouldn't have to go back.
My you know what?
We know
take
there's-
take a guess. Take a guess. Cuff on my sleeve. No, not cuffed on my sleeve. Right? What was the number? What do you think? What do you think?
110 over
89.
120 over 85. I think. I was like, usually I'm in the high 130s, low 140s.
Are you?
Yeah, just pre-hypertension.
Well, you know what? Because
And because of coming to be with this guy today, I was expecting I'd be.
pleased. You didn't smoke a cigarette before you went in.
Definitely, the next cigarette I smoke will be my first. So no, I'm definitely not doing that before my.
You know, you can keep on saying it was your first, okay?
It hasn't been my first.
Well, did you see, by the way, any pictures or photos of Don in his costume for the murder
Mexican?
mystery? Yeah.
The Mexican guy?
Yeah.
Juan Bandito.
Did you see it?
I saw it, yes.
Okay. Because I put it out there. I wanted to
Yes.
make sure.
I want you to know too that I did not really choose. I don't think I really chose that character. I think it was like I let everybody else choose first.
Yeah, but
I said I'd be willing to do whatever.
and
Dan really wanted his character, and Ben did a phenomenal
Dan?
job. Dan was a twofer.
Oh,
He
yeah,
had-
He had two roles?
He was, hold on a second here. His name was, oh, wow.
This is the mystery dinner. The
yeah,
other
we had a
Mystery
mystery dinner over the weekend.
It was phenomenal, well attended. Everybody seemed like they had a great time. His initial name, I can't think of it. Anyway, turns out he was really someone else. He's really someone else.
Sometimes that works.
Yeah. Skip Forth was his other
really good
name.
now.
Was his anyway.
Could you do that again?
He's
I'm sorry, you lost.
Rowdy. That's
Rowdy.
Rowdy Azel.
Okay.
You say that fast. Rowdy Azel.
Rowdy Azel.
So who
Rowdy
did
Azel.
it? Who's the bad guy?
Well, it wasn't Ben. Ben was a drunk. He was a drunk doctor. Played so well.
Did he?
Oh my goodness. Yes. It wasn't Rowdy. And despite the fact that I looked like the most villainous character, it was not me.
Okay.
It was not Ben's
One of
wife,
the women.
Elena.
One of the women.
Yeah, so it wasn't Ben's wife Elena, although it was her gun that was used.
Bridget used her gun.
It wasn't Patience, who was Lori. Patience was a school teacher.
Of course she was.
Got the most votes, it seemed like.
To be the guilty one.
Yeah, but it was actually Bridget, who was Sally, and
Sally.
her. She had come over from England as a mail order bride for the sheriff, but the sheriff was ugly and poor,
Okay.
and so she killed him.
I was
Oh,
going to
good
ask
reason.
if she had good reason
Yep,
to kill
yep,
him.
good
and
reason.
That sounds okay.
So
ugly
that was
and
the murder,
poor.
the sheriff's
Yeah.
murder.
Although she found out that actually he had inherited a very large amount of money from his mother who had just died, so she was going to get that, and she got my gold because I robbed a train.
Nice.
Yeah,
She really made out.
she had, except I guess she
So
did
did she
because there was
did she get in trouble for killing him?
You know what?
no.
For her,
I guess she made out. You're
She
right.
didn't go to jail.
No.
for her, that's almost autobiographical.
So she was found out that she was the murderer and
By
nothing,
us,
and
but-
nothing happened to her.
We had there was no police or anything. Yeah.
No town square.
No. And
No.
she did she had this beautiful monologue. So what we did was, we did the 3 scenes, interspersed with eating.
Mm-hmm.
We had a little final statement, then we went away. Everybody took a piece of paper and voted, put their name on it and put it in a basket of one of the 6 characters. And then the 6 of us came out. The first 3 of them came out and took their basket and walked away.
Could you tell who was getting the most votes
Yes,
by how many
you could
pieces
see.
of paper in the basket? Okay.
Patience was one of those first 3, and she got
Lori.
a lot of votes. Lori, yeah. And then Elena and I and Bridget all came out to kind of guess. I dumped my basket. I didn't have a lot. I don't remember how many Elena did, and Bridget then took it and she drew it and she did this whole monologue. But she was so clever, and then from it she pulled the gun and she told the whole story of what she did.
And why?
Yeah, and why? Yeah, very clever. She did a great job. Her accent, and she's one who I always make fun
What
of.
kind
her.
of accent?
A British accent. I mean, more of an affected American accent.
I thought the guy was from Britain.
No, it was set in the American West, and she had come over from.
Oh, to meet some man that
Yeah.
was already here. All right.
She was the mail order bride.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So somebody selected her. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yep. So.
Just think if we still did that today.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I didn't need a catalog.
you know what?
To
It's
get
really,
Bridget.
come to think of it, it's funny that tradition is hung on,
Which
of-
tradition?
getting married.
Oh,
No, I mean in the process of it,
the
getting
process of getting married.
giving your daughter away to a man. That whole,
Yeah, it doesn't really.
but
Come on.
but we
the
still
last
do it.
wedding. Not really.
Somebody's got to walk her down the aisle.
The last wedding that
Why?
we had. Come on. The last
The
wedding
mother
that we
and
had.
father.
Yeah, mother and
It's
father.
a big day big day for women. I mean, they're usually in tears coming down. They just need help. They just need help and assistance.
But
Sometimes.
I like I say, it amazes me that still continues. I'm glad it does, but
Yeah. Well, just remember, last wedding we did, right?
yeah, the mother and father both.
Mother
did.
and father.
Yeah.
And what did I ask?
Who
wasn't in?
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And I did it for you. I asked all of the parents that bride and groom are asked, do you give your blessing?
Yes.
And I named them,
Yes.
and then I ask everybody else basically the same
So
question.
you ask.
There is no who gives this, because they're not chattel. They're
But-
not a commodity. They're not a product.
You're right. You're right.
They're
That's
a
what
person.
I mean. Okay. So you changed a couple words and you made
That's the way
yourself.
I've always done it.
Well, okay.
20 years.
You changed
almost.
a couple words, made yourself feel better. Nonetheless,
You got to have the ceremony. It's such a huge commitment. It's a lifelong commitment that
and
too
well,
many
I
people
mean,
take lightly.
But the
You
pa-
mean the giving of the
pageant-
weight?
Yeah, the pageantry and all of it.
Well, I mean, I think there's something about making a big deal about something because it is a big deal.
It's like your graduation, that's a big deal. It's a big step in your life. It's one of the big steps. I mean, graduating, getting married, having kids are three, and maybe your job or or something in your job. Those and retirement. Those are three. Retirement's not a commitment, but those are big commitments.
Why are you
in
pointing
your
at me
life.
like that?
Like celebrating a milestone in your occupation, right? That's a good one. Like you had that just last year.
Right.
Half a century
Half a century of what?
of you tickling the ivories and
Yeah,
annoying people.
and look at the pageantry that we had.
Oh, we
before
did,
that.
and we did
Yeah.
have that.
It was a big deal, and we made it a big deal.
Well, I know, so I don't know what you're going to do this year, but
Nothing. 51.
That's nothing. Yeah.
Sorry.
You're going to what? Because if I don't make it to 52, you're going to be sorry about 51. That's when you'll be sorry.
All right. Hey, I got a question.
What is it?
All right, I got a question for you. So you did some traveling this week. I did
Alvin.
some traveling this week. Alvin did some traveling this week. But we've all done traveling beyond that. This was, for the most part, even though yours was definitely a more important event. Sorry, Al.
That's all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't very far, right? How far to Happy Valley? 2.5?
3 hours.
3 hours. 3 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours.
2 hours.
I traveled the least then. I was about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So these weren't very far distances.
Alvin, I thought that 2 hours would never end.
But
Oh, my.
so let me ask you this. Kind of a twofer here. Significant travel that you've done in your life, and something about that maybe God stirred in you from during that experience or from that experience.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm looking. It's all right.
I'll start.
You got something?
Fine.
Okay, go ahead.
Alvin, start.
So every year for the past 30 years, a good friend of mine and I go to Canada fishing. And it's about a 12-hour trip to get to where we're going. And we used to do it. We started out, it was me, my friend, and his son when his son was 8 years old. And when we decided at 8 years old was a good age to start bringing kids up, and so when my daughter was 8 years old, we brought her up, and when my son was 8 years old, we brought my daughter and my son up, and my other two boys were 8 years old, we brought the four of them up, and he has two kids, and we brought them up when they were 8 years old. And we go to this place where It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. They run a generator for electricity in the camp, and there's no internet. There's no cell phone coverage, and so there's no TVs, and so all there is to do is talk to each other, or to pass the time. I mean, we fish and everything, but there's just a lot of discussion, and now my wife's never gone. Linda's never gone.
She's never been
Never gone. Has no desire to go, but
Yep.
I tell her about it every year, and I tell her she'd have a great time if she came, and it's one of the best times, best week in all my years, because it's such quality time with the kids. Because when the kids were growing up, I mean, I worked every day, and Linda wasn't working, and so she spent all day long with the kids, and so my time with the kids was when I got home from work until they went to bed at nighttime and on weekends. And I coached, did some coaching for them and did other things with them on weekends and evenings, but it wasn't the same amount of quality time that my wife got to spend with them. So this was a week where they were just with Dad, and it was excellent.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Did you have a week, or maybe a year or multiple years, where you had all of them together, like you had 6 kids between you and your friend?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And if I remember right, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kim, still maybe not every year, but routinely she's in.
Yeah, she's the best fisherman of all of us, even myself and Phil. She is the most put it this way, she's the most successful. I used to tell her there was skill involved with catching fish and no luck, and she's the luckiest person.
She's lucky.
And now your tune has changed a little bit. Oh, there's luck involved.
There's luck.
We always say she wrote the book on fishing. So
nice. Did you go already this year?
We've already gone. We go the first week in August.
August. Okay. All right. Who all went this year?
So this year, just my son Steve came with us, and a friend of his from high school.
Steve and his friend and your friend.
Yeah, so just 4
and
of
neither
us.
of his kids.
Just 4 of us, and my brother comes up with his wife and 2 kids.
Nice.
And they stay in a different cabin, but we socialize with them all week. And all week long, we've been going the same week every year for 30 years, and everybody else in the camp goes the same week every year. So there's maybe 8 or 10 cabins in the camp. I knew everybody else. All the cabins were full this week. This is the most popular week, and I knew everybody else in the camp, and I've known them all for years.
That's cool.
So it's
nice.
And I only get to see them once a year. And it's just great to see them.
That's Canadian Civic.
Excuse me.
Holiday weekend.
Yes.
The first August, or the first weekend in August.
Yeah. So we hit the heavy traffic.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. I wish we had that.
What?
In the U.S. Just give us another one of those. It's great.
What?
Civic
you
holiday.
just want another day off.
Sure. Yeah. I don't. Actually, the truth of the matter is, Al, you probably understand this. One day. It's just one less day to get all your work to work done. So you need a whole week or nothing. Anyway, I was going to ask. I thought I was going. Oh, where exactly again?
So it's about 8 hours north of Toronto, just west of New Liskeard, Ontario. It's in Ontario, and it's near a little town called Galgonda.
Galgonda, that's right. Okay, yeah. I've heard of it. I have not. So here's the crazy. That's further north than I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, my son, he doesn't come anymore. He says, Dad, Michael. He says, you guys do the same thing every year. It's we drive up there, and all the landmarks on the way up every year we'll point them the same landmarks out every year.
There's Canada's Wonderland.
For example, in Canada, every town you come to, they tell you what the population is. Well, when Mike was 8 or 9 years old, he saw these signs. He said, "Look at the pollution is 87,900." And so to this day, we say, "Oh, look, the pollution is so and so," and we point out places that we'd like to stop, museums that we'd like to stop, but we never do. And you know, the routine that we have hot dogs for lunch every day.
Every day.
Every day. Phil cooks breakfast every day. We have fish for dinner every night.
The fish I could do. The hot dogs I might need something else.
It's kind of
I
the
could do
same agenda. We play the same card games and we do.
Do you have the same
do the
hands?
Same thing. No.
Because that. Oh, come on, Mike, go back.
But we always at dinner time. I make sure we always hold hands. I say grace on the first night. Phil says grace on the second night. My brother says grace on the third. We always eat with
Nice.
dinner with them. We have a big family style
Nice.
dinner there. And at nighttime when we go to bed from watching the Waltons, you know, I say, good night, John Boy. And from the other room,
Nice.
good night, Mary Ellen. And from the other
Nice.
room.
I mean, my mom right there. She loved that show. Oh,
I
you're
did.
making me a little. The hot dogs I could do with. I mean, every day. But other than that, I'm right there. That's.
I could do the hot dogs and the breakfast. Oh my.
Yeah, but not the fish. You like fish?
As long as they have tartar sauce, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Okay. All right.
Or hot sauce.
Some travel that you've done that's been significant in your life.
Well, the most traveling I've done is to go on vacations.
Okay. Pick one of them. Was there a vacation travel that you did that was particularly meaningful, that maybe, you know, encouraging from God?
Well, I can tell you this, just the traveling I did this weekend. You asked me a question during lunch,
Okay.
and your question was, did my brother and I and my sister have, we're down to 3, and I had, in my mind, I was going, and then there were 3.
Because
I had-
Kenton was one of 6
Yes.
kids.
Yeah, I was one of
The youngest of 6
Yeah,
kids.
well, me and Kenny and I are the youngest.
Technically, Kenny's the youngest. Right?
But
He got pulled out first. That's
yeah,
it,
I got out first. Yeah, but that would have been an interesting conversation, because I don't think I probably the only one who would have liked to have it was Kenny, but I know that my sister nor I would have had that conversation, and then we're 3.
Yeah.
Because, you know, then the next natural question is your favorite, is who's next? Yeah. And if you were there, you'd say, please, make it be Kenton, make it be Kenton. I know that. But no, we didn't have that conversation. And I'm kind of glad we didn't.
Yeah.
Because we're not young either. So, you know, whatever happens from here on out, it just happens. It is funny to be a child of 6 and not be that same person anymore. That there's just 3 of us left, and it's a cold hard realization that time goes on, and life goes on. For me, things like that just remind me of that. Yeah. I don't mind being one of the 3. That you know, I don't mind that. That's just the logical. That's the logical way that it should happen. Although my brother Manson was younger than my sister Diane, so he passed out of order. Yeah, he passed out of order. So, but there's Diane, Kenny, and I. I'm sure that Kenny and Diane are taking bets that I'm the next one, though. Okay. So,
well, I will say this.
If anything,
can I get in on this?
I was just going to say, yeah, you're going to have your chance this afternoon. That's true.
Let me tell
if
you.
they find me dead today,
Yeah.
with a screwdriver or a drill in my head, Aloysius Barker.
I was just thinking of the fact that aside from your your care for yourself physically, traveling 100 miles an hour, probably not the best way to ensure a long life.
Well, I didn't realize I was going 100 till I looked down, and then it scared me.
And then you said, "Whee!"
You know, they make cruise controls.
Huh?
They make a cruise control on
Well,
those cars.
I wouldn't. A cruise control? Really?
Can I tell you, Al? We've got a little computer issue in our car. Some kind of sensor that needs to be replaced or whatever. and 50% of the time my cruise control's not working. When I'm driving around town, I could care less, right? I hate to see those little lights lit up. But then you go on a little bit of a trip and you want to use it, and you can't.
I know.
It just doesn't work, huh?
Yeah.
You know what? You know what I'm having trouble with?
What?
My screen, my video screen in my car, because
Does it just keep going?
no, no.
Come on, what's that from? What's that from?
I don't know.
Jurassic Park? Do you remember? Do you remember when what's his name from Seinfeld steals
Yeah, I know.
and
He
then he
stole it.
reboots the computer?
Yeah.
And it comes back.
Oh,
and
that's
it's-
right. All right. What was I talking? What was I
don't know.
saying?
About your
segue.
computer in your car.
Oh yeah, I'm having trouble. It doesn't react to being just all the time.
So I just took mine in to get reprogrammed and updated, and when they updated it, it fried this one part, and then I had to buy a new one for $800.
I know it's not cheap. It's not cheap, and I'm not. I can make it work through the steering wheel, and because everything that screen does, the steering wheel does too. So if you talk using the steering wheel control,
Yeah.
the
If you
screen-
talk nicely to
the
it.
screen changes,
Yeah.
but it's not by touch. There's just a couple places where you have to know, and I'm
Sometimes-
just not.
Sometimes you don't touch it. You got to talk nicely to it.
Well, and you know what? I've been reading about it, and many people this year had issues because of the extreme heat.
Interesting.
Because some of those screens have gel in them, and the heat affected the screens in a way, and it doesn't make sense because sometimes, for example, I used navigation on my travels this weekend. Well, there was a new feature in that it comes up with the regular navigation screen, and then if something special is going to happen, like your two lanes are going to merge together with something else, the whole picture comes up with the two lanes. It's all automated, and everything works there, but not to let me touch it. So as far as I'm
Just don't
concerned,
touch it.
yeah.
Just don't touch it.
Yeah.
All right, I got one little travel thing.
What's yours, Bub?
So the reason I won't be here in 2 weeks.
You're going to
'Cause you'll be-
Disneyland?
No,
Honduras.
no, I'm going to Honduras. Yeah.
Oh,
Dawn's
Honduras,
Disneyland.
That's right.
So and this will be I keep forgetting. This will be my 11th or 12th time
Wow.
going to Honduras.
Wow.
Over the course of
Do they have-
17 years.
17 years, they have nice restaurants and a beach.
Where I'm going will not. I mean, I'll fly into the largest city, so you could get. I'm sure you could find.
And then
some
how
nice
far away are
restaurants
you?
from the beach?
No, from the
I
airport.
always forget if it's an hour and a half or
Oh.
2 hours from there that we stay.
Okay.
But we're all inland.
Inland.
I doubt I'll be anywhere near the ocean.
Well, I hope so, because these hurricanes aren't letting up.
Yeah. But one of the things that's, one of the things that's I love about going to Honduras, it is beautiful in a very different way.
Yeah.
Like I've been to California, and that's got some of it. Florida, a little bit of it too, maybe more there. But Honduras definitely just. It's so much more untouched in a lot of ways.
Rainforest waste.
It's not. I'm not quite to the rainforest,
Yeah.
but more. Yeah, I'll get to see a coffee plantation again, so that should be pretty cool.
Did you pick a bean off and eat it?
No,
You got to do that.
I have had the best coffee that I ever remember having in my life. A woman literally carried. I thought she had taken them right off. I don't know, but she had an apron full of beans. Roasted them over an open fire and made coffee from
Don't coffee beans have a red shell on them or something?
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that it has
yeah.
to be
No, you
cooked
can-
off,
Dried
and it dries that shell. It turns
Oh.
it from red to brown.
Yes,
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
Yeah, they're not. They don't look. They're not.
But when they pick the coffee,
like a berry.
It's a berry. It's
Oh,
like a
I did
red
not know
berry.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
I went to a coffee farm in the community one of the communities that we support and partner with. But it was early on in the season. This will be a little bit better. Won't be coffee harvest, but it'll be cool.
So when was the last time you were there?
The last time. It's crazy.
It was before COVID, right?
Yeah, I think it was. I don't think you've been there since before.
No, I have been back. The last time we took a large team was before that. 'Cause
Greg?
We were supposed to go in 2020, and my son was going to go, but we couldn't. And then there was
just a couple
team,
of you went, but you didn't do work, right?
Yeah,
You
and
didn't
we're not
do
really doing
physical labor,
work.
right?
We're not necessarily doing work this time, but yeah, it was just a couple of us. It was more reconnection and whatnot. It was just Colleen and I actually, and then they took a team last summer while I was on sabbatical.
Oh, that's right.
And we'll have a team of 11 of us. And what's one of the things I do love, especially love, in addition to reconnecting with people, relationships that I've had for years.
What's the name of the group that?
Heart to Honduras is the
Okay, I
is
have
the
to
ministry
tell my
that-
nephew Scott because he was getting ready to go.
Yeah, it's a great. There's a lot of different
I
organizations.
know, and I can't remember what he said it was.
But one of the things I love to do is help other people to experience something new. And there'll be 7 of the people that are going down that have never been to Honduras before.
Oh.
And 2 of them are my parents.
There you
Oh,
go.
your parents are going
My parents are going. So they will be here not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
because you leave Tuesday,
And then we will leave the following Tuesday, 2 days later. Yep.
and
So
you won't be back until.
it's like Tuesday to Tuesday.
Okay.
But this Heart to Honduras program has a unique approach to helping the people down there. Instead of a lot of groups go down and they have an idea that they're going to construct, they're going to build a church, they're going to build a center for where people can be treated with medicine, one thing or another, or build a school. This group tries to help the people, the citizens,
themselves.
gets them involved and helps them understand how to plan their city, how to plan their lives, and to work with each other and to work as a community to help each other and to grow, because different people have different job skills, and together they can work together than they can independently, because for so long they kind of work independently.
That's so true.
It's a kind of a new concept. They do some building and stuff, but they really get the citizens involved in doing the construction. I mean, when I know that I was in Mexico one time, and I was kind of disappointed because I had a group of a dozen people, and we were working really hard, and on the other side of the road we had a bunch of people sitting there watching us work, and I thought that was so unproductive. Now if they'd come over and worked alongside of us, that would have been great, but to go down and do this work and have a group of people just sit there and watch you, that was not good.
Yeah, I get that.
It's funny, as I hear you talk about this, you've obviously been talking with some people.
Well, I was on the missions program, and
That's right.
and so I learned a lot about it. I thought it was a great program. It sounded, the concept, it was just getting started when I was involved in that, and so I'm kind of curious. I'd like to hear an update as to how things are progressing and whether it's working the way, because it is a kind of a new concept, and we're not sure exactly whether it's going to be fruitful or not. And so I'm curious to see how the town is doing.
First off, I am super excited. One of the things that we're going to get to do is we're going to get to go down and celebrate in I was going to say El Oviedo, that's another community, but Lomas de Aguila, where that community that we first started partnering with, and they've already finished it. They've already kind of christened it, but they're going to kind of celebrate in this community building that they built as part of this program and project. And so we're just going to go down there and kind of celebrate with them.
Well, where you guys went and there was an issue with the water.
Well, at all these places, there's issues.
Lomas de Aguila had all of them. There's a lot of small communities that don't have access.
They don't have that issue
great
anymore.
access. They increased better infrastructure for their water. So you need to go. I think you would love it. I think you should be thinking about that. I realize our time is fast approaching. So,
well, you know what, though? I wanted to make one point.
One quick point.
As I know, I owe Alvin. Last week, we at the beginning of our video, Alvin talked about how much he used his hand to talk.
Oh, yeah.
So if
you went
viewers,
and watched the video,
I've been trying to keep my hands.
No, if viewers, if today you just want to rewind, maybe 40 seconds and watch Mr. Barker's hands here. I mean, I think he's increased in the.
I thought I was doing pretty good today. You don't realize
you
you're
can
doing
use
it.
your hands to talk. There's nothing
No,
wrong
I'm
with
just
it.
kidding you.
Hey, you're gonna play some music in a second.
Am I?
You don't have to.
I'm sleepy today.
Okay, all right. So,
He's playing.
got church?
Kids Church right here at Canonsburg UP Church.
8:30 and 11 o'clock.
We will teach you everything you need to know about living a good life.
And we'll be celebrating communion this Sunday too.
Yeah, we will.
So look forward to that.
Yeah.
Stick around for a moment, and we'll have some music for you.
Yep. We'll be right back.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.